ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to Thursday Night Football Overtime. Cowboys, Bucs. Man, what an effing game that was. Boy, do I love football. You know, it's crazy to me. And I'm going to get into this breakdown. This was a hell of a football game. But I knew this was going to be a good one. I think the first quarter of the first quarter, so maybe 4 minutes into the game, I'm really enjoying this thing. The Cowboys are moving the football. I think the Buccaneers went 3 and out, and then the Cowboys got the football. They moved it. They ended up having a punt. And I just said to myself, man, I missed football. And I said, this is going to be a damn good game. And boy, was it ever. And you know what's ironic is that last year, the Cowboys played on Sunday night, and it was a controversial call on OPI on Michael Gallup, and I thought it was a bad call. I understood the call, but I thought it was a bad call. I thought Jalen Ramsey just simply got beat, and they bailed him out. And the Cowboys ultimately lost the game because of that call. And tonight, no call on the what looked like a push-off. I didn't think they needed to throw the flag. I didn't have a problem with them, and that's not a bias of any kind. If it's a flag, it's a flag. And I said that last year when they got jobbed by the officials in that game against the Rams, that was not OPI and it should not have been called. This one, I could see how they could have called it. I'm glad they didn't call it because that's a back shoulder fade. A lot of times on those back shoulder fades, the corners are grabbing on the receiver because it's a sudden stop and he's planting and pivoting to the outside. So he's trying to stop, and he usually uses the receiver to stop by grabbing on him to pull him forward. So you got to get that guy off of you. And he fell down. I love the no call there. Let him play. And I mean, you got to give it up to both teams. They could have called the PI there, OPI. They didn't, and that ultimately was the ball game. Great kick by Ryan Suckup to put the Buccaneers ahead for good, the game-winning field goal. But I'll tell you this much. We knew the Buccaneers' run defense was good, and we could look at it a multitude of different ways. You know, I'm going to choose to take the angle of this is what you should get used to as a Cowboys fan with Mike McCarthy as your head coach and Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator. You're not going to run it a ton. However, in their defense, the Buccaneers have the #1 rated rush defense in football, and that's not going to change. Okay, you could see that tonight. What did Ezekiel Elliott end up with? I think maybe 10, 11 rushes for maybe 30 yards. Maybe at one point it was 10 for 29, and one of those runs was a 13-yard run. Like, you're not going to run against the Buccaneers. So I think they came into this game saying, to hell with the run, and I don't have a problem with that. The only thing I said was, you do got a dude coming off of some shoulder issues this offseason, so you might not want to throw it 60 damn times and 33 times in the first half. You might not want to do that. But if you think he's good, which we saw he was good, then you go out there and you just let it rip. And that's what they did. And Dak was on tonight. And there were drops. And it's funny, I had a discussion with the Super Friends and who's the best receiver in the NFC East. And they wanted to jump and give it to CeeDee Lamb after 1 year. And I said, you do know he dropped the football last year, right? Now, I said, specifically against Washington, I don't know what he was doing against everybody else. I do know what he was doing against everybody else because I watched every single game. But I said, I know he had some drops last year, especially against my team. He had 9 drops last year. I didn't know the exact number, but I knew he had some drops. He had at least 4 in 2 games against Washington. I said, he's got some issues. He had some drops tonight. You know, he made some big-ass plays. He made some big plays, and this is why the Cowboys offensively are scary, because Michael Gallup goes out of this game early stages of the fourth quarter, and it's Cedric Wilson, next man up, and they can just continue. The party just doesn't stop. They got Amari Cooper, they got CeeDee Lamb, they slide in Cedric Wilson, they got tight ends, Blake Jarwin, and the kid from Stanford. They just keep coming in waves. And Dak Prescott was phenomenal. This wasn't a great rushing game for Ezekiel Elliott, but he blocked his ass off in terms of pass protection. And Dak made some throws tonight, man. You got to give it up. The Buccaneers tried to give this football game away. They tried their best, their damnedest to give this game away. And luckily enough for them, the defense stepped up when it had to, and the offense stepped up when it had to. But you turn it over 4 times, you're asking, and look, let's call it 3. The Hail Mary before the half really doesn't count. You turn it over 3 times, 2 of them on back-to-back plays, no less. Did you see the disparity in time of possession, number of snaps, and yardage at one point in this game? We're into the 4th quarter, and the Cowboys have an 83-yard advantage at 263 to 280. They've got 63 plays in the game to the Buccaneers, like 35, and they got like a 20, almost, it felt like almost a 20-minute time of possession edge. It was ridiculous, yet they were still losing in the game. Why? Same problems the Cowboys were having last year. Now, you could say last year, no Dak, no problem. All right, now we got Dak back. We're going to take care of business in the red zone. That was the difference in the game. What's my mantra? What's my motto? You know what it is. You already know what it is. Field goals don't win games. Touchdowns do. And the Cowboys settled for field goal after field goal after field goal after field goal in this game. And if you want to win in this league, you want to beat the best of the best, you got to score 30, man. And the best and most efficient and fastest way to do that is to put up touchdowns. You want to field goal your way to 30? Good luck. You're going to need it. They tried their damnedest to do it, and had their kicker not missed earlier in the game from 35 yards out, or 31 actually, he made the 35-yarder, they would have made it to 30, and they might have won this football game. But hell of a football game by the Cowboys. The defense is still a work in progress, but I told you guys it's going to be better. It can't be any worse, right? Let's talk about the Buccaneers, though. I want to spend a lot of time on the Bucs. That's why I got the Cowboys out of the way first. We'll come back around to the Cowboys. I want to talk about the Buccaneers, though, and what they were able to do in this game. Now, Brady was Brady, okay, despite the 2 interceptions. Honestly, you could argue neither one were really his fault. You throw the Hail Mary before the half. It is what it is. And then you got the one that goes off of Fournette's hands. Did it come in a little hot? Maybe. I need Fournette to catch that football. He made a big catch later on in the game, though. But that notwithstanding, Brady was outstanding in this game. He was exceptional, man. The guy is ageless. Okay, I keep waiting for Father Time to tap him on his shoulder and say, come on, Tom, it's time to go. And it's just not happening. This guy is ridiculous. And who didn't think with about a minute 10 or whatever it was left, minute 20, who didn't think they were going down the field to score with 1 timeout left? I damn sure did. I was like, well, they needed to eat more of that clock up. And Kellen Moore tried to do that with that Ezekiel Elliott run. The Buccaneers smartly called the timeout, and they had the penalty. It wouldn't have mattered either way. They were going to have to settle for that field goal. You wanted to pick up that first down. That third down was huge because that third down would have forced the Buccaneers to use their timeouts. The Cowboys would have essentially been able to kick a walk-off field goal at that point and win the game. But by the Buccaneers defense standing up, forcing the holding penalty, and even before the holding penalty, they would have gotten the stop they needed to force the Cowboys to have to settle for the field goal that they ultimately had to kick the next play or 2 plays later. So the Buccaneers defense stepped up. To me, they were the MVPs of this game despite getting gouged and gashed throughout this football game. And I want to start there because I said this, I want to say on the podcast, my guy Ree, massive Buccaneers fan, was talking about this is the most complete team and the best roster, ever, that's coming back from a Super Bowl team. And I was like, I don't know about that. There were some of them early 90s Cowboys teams, some of those 80s 49ers team before free agency was a thing. I don't know if this was the best roster. I said, but I can tell you this, I'm not sold on your defense. Your defense is good. It's not great. And I think you can exploit that secondary. If the pressure if the pressure is coming from your front 4 and you can blitz those backers, and we know what Devin White is as a blitzer. We saw what he did last year. Then this defense is dangerous. That's when they're at their best, when they can apply pressure up front. but they weren't able to really get to Dak Prescott. And when they did, Dak hung tough, took shots, delivered darts. And I told you, I don't really love their defense. I think their defense is good. I respect their coordinator more so than the actual individual parts. And you got to give some credit to Dallas. That offensive line, when healthy, really good. And you got to give some credit to Dak Prescott for hanging in there and getting balls to his receivers under duress. And you got to give those Cowboys wide receivers credit for making plays. That said, the Buccaneers defensively, when they had to have it, they got it. And you could look at that sequence of the 2 straight turnovers and them holding the Cowboys to a field goal with one of those situations. Then you look at the fumble by Godwin, them standing up, essentially forcing the field goal. Could they have gotten off the field? Maybe. I thought that offsides penalty by Joe Tryon Shoyinka was huge because it almost cost them the game. I don't know if the Cowboys convert that 3rd or 6 and not, but you get it to 3rd and 1, and that's easy pickings, and they were able to convert. So I thought the defense stepped up when it had to, but this was not a clean game defensively. Dak went over 400 yards passing on this defense. Now, it took him damn near 60 attempts, and they pretty much decided they weren't going to even try to run the football, and I don't blame them, but he still was slicing and dicing his defense. And, the interception that he threw, that's a perfect ball to CeeDee Lamb over the middle of the damn football field. He needs to catch the damn football. So I've got my reservations about this Buccaneers defense. I really do. But I thought they stood up tonight when they had to. They made plays when they had to, and that's huge. Ultimately, that's what gave them a chance to win this football game. The offense put this defense in some sticky situations. They played a ton of snaps tonight. My God, did they play a ton of snaps. And when they had to step up, when they had to keep Dallas out of the end zone, when they had to get the ball back to the offense, they were able to do it. So you have to give credit where credit is due to that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. As for the offense, I've got an issue with Chris Godwin. Okay, this goes back to the playoffs last year. I love Chris Godwin as a football player, but there are too many mental mistakes with this guy. Drops, he had a big drop, and that's a tough one. As a guy that has tried to catch footballs over the shoulder, whether baseball or football, it is not easy when you're running in one direction. Then you have to turn your body, relocate the football. He still should have caught the damn ball. And he'll tell you that. Catch the damn ball. All right. He had issues with drops last year. He had a drop in this game. That big one that was the one that kept the Cowboys in the game. Because at that point, Cowboys, I think, were trailing in the game by 2 or 3. I think it was 2 at that point. And you get that catch, they're probably going to score a touchdown. That was inside the 10-yard line, I believe. And you go back up 9. At that point of the game, I think it was about 7 or 8 minutes. They were done. I think they were done. Drop that ball, give the Cowboys an opportunity. I thought Bradley Pinion was phenomenal. I don't want to leave him out. A lot of times we gloss over punters and place kickers and specialists. He was phenomenal. So was Jadon Minkins. Both of those guys were exceptional for the Buccaneers. And just go ahead and throw Ryan Suckup in there as well. He made the game winner. He made all of his kicks tonight. Go ahead and throw him in there as well. The special teams for the Buccaneers were outstanding tonight. And arguably, that's why they won the game. You talk about winning 2 out of the 3 phases of the game. Well, you could argue that they won on the defensive side. They got the stops when they needed to. They kept Dallas out of the end zone. And you go either way with that because Dallas defensively forced 4 turnovers, 3 technically. I don't really count that Hail Mary before the half, but the defense for the Cowboys stepped up and made some plays as well. But I thought the defense of the Buccaneers got it done when it had to be done. And then their special teams, I thought, put them over the top with the win tonight. So offensively, though, for the Buccaneers, Godwin had some big-time foobars. That fumble nearly cost them the game. Nearly cost them the game. And he was still good tonight because Mike Evans was quiet. Not a big game from him. And my God, is Rob Gronkowski good? Does he drop anything? My God, is he good? And I remember at one point of his career, people were calling him a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer. And I had the audacity to question them. Like, Is this guy really a first ballot? You're damn right he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's one of the best tight ends these eyes have ever seen. The guy is phenomenal. He doesn't drop anything. And he made some big plays down the stretch, caught 2 touchdowns in this game. The second of which, the second of which was that's just some Brady Gronk shit. That's next level. Hey, we've been playing together for a decade. We know what the other one's going to do because he saw the blitz, and people treat Gronk like he's a meathead, like he's not a smart guy. Gronk's smarter than you think, on and off the field, okay? And he sees the blitzing defender. He knows, I got a defensive end on me. So I'm going to block him for a second. Brady's going to need me because this guy's going to come off free. He's going to come off hot. So I'm going to get up the field, and I'm going to turn and give Brady a target. Like, that's next level stuff. That doesn't happen with 30 out of 32 teams in the league. You might get one tight end quarterback combo that has that same synchronicity. That, to me, is some phenomenal stuff, man. I'm floored by his ability to win. He's not the fastest guy. That first touchdown, how about Brady throwing a 99-mile-an-hour fastball and Gronk just plucking it out of the air in traffic with a whole bunch of bodies around him, just plucking it out of the air like it's nothing. He's phenomenal. He catches it in traffic. It doesn't matter. 2 guys around. It doesn't matter. He's going to catch the football. He was fantastic tonight. Giovanni Bernard. How about that catch on a 3rd down? Late in the ballgame, that final possession of the game. Shish. That was a big one. I thought the offensive line was pretty solid for the Buccaneers all night long. Gave Brady time, survey the field, get rid of the football. I just thought that this was a clinic. And I thought Fournette played well down the stretch, had a really good possession before the fumble by Godwin. That was all Fournette. Made the catch on rookie Micah Parsons on a play that easily could have been picked off. Brady was slipping and tripping, and threw it up for grabs, and Fournette bailed him out. Had some good hits in the run game on that possession. Had a good catch out of the backfield on a 2nd down to pick up a 1st down and move the sticks. I thought he was really solid. How about Rojo fumbling? His ass did not see the field. One thing about Bruce, I know Uncle Bruce doesn't play with the fumbles, okay? Uncle Bruce doesn't do the fumbling thing. Remember last year in the playoffs, Keyshawn Vaughn fumbled against Washington in Wild Card Weekend? Not only did we not see him for the remainder of that game, we did not see Keyshawn Vaughn the remainder of the postseason. Rojo fumbled in the 2nd quarter. We didn't see him for another snap the remainder of the game, I don't think. So he doesn't play. If he did come back, he didn't see the field in the 4th quarter when it was winning time. He damn sure didn't see the field for much of the second half. So Bruce doesn't play with the fumbles. He doesn't do that. So that was funny to see. But outside of that, man, I said this going into the game. The key for the Cowboys was going to be getting Brady off the spot. They did it on the opening possession of the game, and they really weren't able to do it much more afterwards. Brady was pretty comfortable back there in the pocket. You know, they tried to blitz on that 3rd down in the red zone. He finds Gronk for the touchdown. There were a couple of times they tried to heat him up, and it was to no avail. There were a couple of times where they actually did get to him and force Brady out of the pocket. But at the end of the day, they didn't do it enough. And with a guy like Tom Brady, you have to move him off the spot. If he gets comfortable, if he gets settled back there, it's good night. And Antonio Brown was fantastic. Again, when you don't get a lot of contributions from your best receiver and Mike Evans, other guys have to step up. Godwin was good when he wasn't fumbling or dropping the football. Gronk was outstanding. And Antonio Brown was phenomenal in this football game. And I'll tell you what, man, the Buccaneers with 4 turnovers still find a way to win. And that tells you just how good of a football team they are. They tried to give this game away, and the Cowboys wanted it. They just weren't good enough to take it. And they were offering up the gift. And sometimes when a team is giving you a gift, you have to take it. You have to be willing to receive the gift. And the Cowboys simply didn't make enough plays. And when you go 1 of 4 in the red zone, you probably deserve to lose. No, you don't probably. You deserve to lose the football game. You deserve to lose the football game. So, what a game. What a game. What a game. That's why the NFL is king. And that's why we love this game. My God. Whew. Feels good to be back. Feels good. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. That's why the NFL is the best in the business. You guys have a great night. Get off the bench, get in the game, and kick it with me, your man, Louie T. If you haven't already done so, I urge you to subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And to also hit the like button if you haven't already done so on the way out. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you out there. Bucs 31, Cowboys 29. Bucs 1-0. Cowboys dropped to 0-1 after a doozy of a game to kick off the 2021 NFL season. Until next time, I'm your man Louie T signing off saying God bless and good night.